Welcome, race fans, once again here tonight to Virtual Racing Network. We are live here from Auto Club Speedway in California for tonight's event. And we are here with the Northwest Xfinity Series. We have 11 drivers that have made the trip here with only 6 races, including tonight, left in the playoffs here in the season period. It is a good guess as to anybody's game to get this. Anybody's game. Anybody can walk away with the championship. We're going to narrow it down to the final 4 drivers, of course, in the coming weeks. That being said, it's all about tonight here to determine who will walk away with the win. And we got some really good battles in the points going on. We have those in here. Didn't have a chance to get them into the overlays, but we do have them on the back end. We'll go over those here in just a few minutes, but we need to thank all the sponsors that make this series possible, make this league possible. And of course, that is Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm. Make sure you check them out at wallsbeardco.com for all that beard balm product. It's all natural and organic. Some great stuff. Make sure you check it out. Again, some great stuff there, all natural and organic. That being said, we do have 3 minutes left on the clock as we bring your countdown to qualifying coming up here in 3.5 minutes. We've already found out we don't really know what the tire wear is going to be here tonight. We'll see what that fall off is. Will be based off of right now. They're running about 42-second laps. What will the laps be once we get to a 5-lap, a 10-lap, a 20-lap run? Will we see a 20-lap run here tonight? All of those questions will have to be answered here in the future. We do know, though, that fuel windows here tonight vary. They are going to vary from 31 laps to possibly 37 laps. And we'll see if they can do that. And if those drivers that can go 37, if they can conserve 1 lap worth of fuel, make it to around 38 laps on a tank of fuel with a 75 lap race, they could make it in 1 stop. Strategy going to be key here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. I just don't know which strategy is going to be the winning one. Is it going to be a 2-stop race, or is it going to be a 1-stop race? And how many of these drivers can make it on a 1-stop race? We know the 333 of James Vining can get 37 laps on a run. He would need to conserve about 1 lap of fuel if he wanted to make it to the end on a 1-stop, and he would have to do that on both of his stops as well. So we'll be checking in with that later on tonight, maybe talking to one of these drivers under caution, as it looks like a 12th driver going to show up. Casey Tillman making his stop here into the race. So we'll see how it all goes. We are going to go ahead and take a quick little break here. We have just about 1.5 minutes left to go. We'll be right back here momentarily to give a quick recap of the point standings before we dive into the qualifying tonight. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with just 30 seconds left on the clock to go over those point standings here for you. Coming into tonight's race, Sean Brightsman, 2 wins on the season. Jeff Stabnow in that 24 machine has a win. 50 points to the good is going to be Seth Frazier in the 32 machine. Chris White in the 83, 46 points to the good. And going behind them, you go to James Thurston, 45 points to the good. And then it really gets hairy below there. You have Dan West Jr., only 2 points to the good. Brian Barnes, 2 points to the good. John Ottenbacher, who is not going to be here tonight, he is 0 points to the good. Stephen Paulson, negative 0 points to the good. Those two actually tied, so they'll be definitely trading spots here tonight. Casey Tillman, 11 to the good, as qualifying is underway, so we'll get rid of that off the screen as it is time to drop down to the track. As soon as the first driver jumps into the wheel, or into the car, gets behind the wheel, we'll see who that's going to be, but right now, nobody coming out onto the track. And there's going to be the first drivers. We'll go ahead and get that on the track with them. And it's going to be the 32 of Seth Frazier driving that Hooters machine here tonight. James Vining going to be out there as well. Let's bring up your qualifying bar. Again, that is going to be the 32 of Seth Frazier out on track here for qualifying. We also have the 333 of James Vining out onto the track. So we'll see which one of these drivers takes to the top of the charts and is your pulse here for the time being. And until they possibly get topped, or will they stay up top the charts? We'll know here shortly. All right, times will be coming in. It looks like, actually, yes, Seth Frazier will be the first driver to put in a time, followed by James Vining, and then James Thurston going to be coming in here in a moment. And time's going to be coming in. It's going to be a 42.645 for Seth Frazier. And James Vining, no surprise, takes it to the top. 42.627. He's fairly good at qualifying. 0.017 faster than Seth Frazier. We're going to go over to James Thurston, who is on his first of 2 laps here at the moment here for qualifying. He has not put in an official lap yet, but he will be soon. And James Vining coming into the line now to put in the time, and it's going to be a 42.456. That'll put him at the top of the charts here in qualifying in that number 2 machine. And unless our trading paints are wrong, and I don't think it is, he is running the military appreciation there for Veterans Day. Awesome looking paint job for him. Let's jump over to Stephen Paulson, who is in the number 58 Steel Ford Fusion, or I believe that's a Ford Mustang, actually. My apologies. Ford Mustang out on the track. You'd think we'd know a Mustang from a Fusion, but regardless, he is going to be coming out on to the track to get this thing going here for qualifying in that number 58 machine. He is the only one out on the track here at the moment. Well, let's just kind of wait and see how times are going to go. We have Dan West coming out there, the Rocket Man himself, Dan West Jr. Interesting to see if he can put in a fast time here at Auto Club. He seems to be fast wherever he goes. We'll see also if he can get the win. Obviously, last Monday, heartbreak there. Didn't quite work the way he wanted it to. Had a bad fast machine, but in the end, it didn't work in his favor. He ended up coming in a bridesmaid in second place. Again, that's not where you want to be, especially when you have a lot on the line. But right now, it's all about the wins tonight. And Steven Balson is on his first of 2 laps. As you can see right there, zooms out. We're coming to the line. He's going to take it all the way down to the Auto Club Speedway sign. And right there, that is how you get around this track. He's going to run a 42.879. He'll be fourth fastest here at the moment. Dan West Jr. in the 55 machine, trucking around this track. Obviously, we expect to see him jump to the top. He has been there quite often. Will he be there again? Also, Chris White out on the track, strapped in to his machine. We'll see what the 83 of Chris White can do here, as right there, the first lap going to come in for Dan West Jr. 42.444. That'll put him at the top of the charts here with a very, very fast time point. 0.12 faster than James Thurston. So 42.4s here in qualifying, as it looks like Steven Paulson's going to go up just a little bit on his second lap, 42.596. We jump over to Chris White in the other military Veterans Day paint job out here, looking mighty fine, as I would say. We'll see what the 83 of Chris White can do here tonight. Is a awesome looking Veterans Day tribute SimStar Motorsports 83 from Chris White. Chris White, if we get that name out properly. We'll see what kind of time he puts in here in just a moment. And a 42.270. What a blistering fast lap there for Chris White, as he's on the top right now. He may want to check those tires and make sure they're still attached to the rims, as that was probably one of the fastest laps. It is the fastest lap we've seen so far. We do have Sean Brightsman coming out on to the track now. He has been mentioned as being a fast driver here tonight. We'll see if that trend continues here into qualifying, as he was fast in practice, and he's been running a really good line. So we'll see how he stacks up against the rest of the field. But again, Chris White with a 42.270. That is probably going to be the fastest lap we see here all night. I don't think we'll be seeing that in the actual race, but definitely a fast lap here in qualifying. And just like that, Sean Brightsman going to spin it around. So that lap obviously not going to count. We'll switch over to Jeff Stabno, who's pulling off of pit road right now. Jeff Stabno out on track. Casey Tillman getting strapped in. Sean Brightsman is also back out on the track. And Jeff Stabno going to bring it down pit road. He is not going to complete that lap. So we're going to jump back over to Sean Brightsman in the 46 machine. Again, time is not coming in here for these guys, is having issues there. We'll jump over to Casey Tillman this time in the number 92 machine. We'll see what kind of time he puts in. That's again the 46 Sean Bryson and the 24 Jeff Stabnow having troubles. Casey Tillman going to bring it to a stop as well. We go back to Jeff Stabnow, who is just past that blue cone, coming out on to the track here for qualifying. We'll see if he can put in a lap this time. Again, Jeff Stabnow, Sean Bryson, and Casey Tillman all having troubles here in qualifying. They have not been able to complete a lap here and actually get one in that they're happy with. And it looks like Jeff Stabnow's going to get his warm-up lap in right there. We'll see how he does. Can he top Chris White in the 83 machine? Brightsman is back on track, and so is Tillman. We'll be watching them here as well. All right, Jeff Stabnow, again, the warm-up lap in. He's coming to the start-finish line here for lap number 1. And it's going to be a 42.305. That'll put him in the second position, right behind Chris White. He'll be actually on the outside of Chris White as we jump over to Sean Brightsman, who is currently coming to the line to complete lap number 1. And it's going to be a 42.226. That'll put him at the top of the charts here. Again, another blistering fast lap, even faster than Chris White, 42.226. This is important here as we jump over to Brian Barnes, because now that's going to put Sean Brightsman and Jeff Stabnow row 1, and I believe that's going to do it for qualifying. It is. It's time to drop down for the starting grid. Obviously, we don't have the grid here in place, and everyone kind of jumbled up here just a little bit. It looks like we actually might be in order. So your starting grid here for tonight's race is going to be Sean Brightsman and Chris White on row 1. Row 2 is going to be Dan West Jr. and Sean Brightsman, and that, or Stephen Paulson. I don't believe that is correct. It is not. So it's going to be Sean Brightsman, Chris White on row 1, followed by Jeff Stabnow and Dan West Jr., Stephen Paulson, and I'm not sure who is in 7th. It's not showing us there. It should be James Thurston, I do believe. Either way, not all the names showing up here for us, unfortunately. But some really good racing about to come in. I'm not sure why the scoring is all jumbled up on us. But we are ready to get this thing going. As you can see them on the grid, ready to start tonight's event. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight to Virtual Racing Network. We are just about ready to get this thing going here tonight. As again, we have Sean Brightsman and Chris White going to be starting on the front row. They're going to be getting this thing going. And the pace car dives off. A green flag is just about ready. As we'll bring up your top bar here. Green flag is out, and we are racing for lap number 1 of 75 here tonight. Again, I expect to see some good racing here. How long will they stay bunched up? How spread out will they get is going to be the question as we are racing. And quickly, as I expected, we're going to see the 24 Jeff Stabnow try to follow his teammate, and he does, and they're going to push Chris White back one spot to 3rd place. Again, that's kind of pretty much what I expected to happen there, is he's actually going to lose another spot as the two of James Thurston's going to get by him on the inside. And this may be one of those tracks, one of those nights where you do not want to get railroaded on the outside. And that seems to be what happened as we got sparks flying back here about midfield. They're going to go 3 and 4 wide back here early on in this race. You see them all kind of shuffle back to the top of the track. That's where you want to be. You don't want to be too close to the bottom coming into the corner. You can get down there, but you do not want to be down there at the start of the race, or entering the corner. That is a bad place to be. Sean Brightsman's still up front. Jeff Stabnow trying to run him down here early on. We are getting only on lap 2 of 75. We'll see how long tonight goes. I don't expect to see too many cautions. It really just depends on how bunched up they stay, and of course, if they're able to get off the racing surface before the caution can come out. And Sean Brightsman is going to relinquish the lead here to his teammate Jeff Stabnow, who again already has a win. Sean Brightsman 2 wins. Dan West Jr. trying to pick up a win. I'm not sure. It's going to be a tough challenge for these guys if they want to get up there and make something happen. But I would imagine that 55 of Dan West Jr. or even the 83 of Chris White could definitely make it happen. Both of these guys, very fierce competitors here tonight. So again, make sure you watch all of it. Make sure you stay tuned because you do not want to miss anything. If you miss a moment of the racing action, you never know what's going to happen. You could miss something very important. It's just like this. Chris White, we talked about getting shuffled back. He's now on the inside. Sean Brightsman on the outside. Brightsman falling to 4th place. He's getting shuffled back in the field now as well. So again, it's up and down. So many different things can happen. If you get to that outside, we've just seen twice now that is a bad place to be. You do not want to be stuck on the outside and get shuffled around. You will lose big time on it. It is not the place to be. And Sean Brightsman actually running way up on the high side compared to everybody else. Everyone's kind of meeting him up there in the corner, but they are going way lower than he is to enter the corner, whereas he's staying up high. So interesting call there. We may have to take a chat with him and see what his preferred line is around this track. All right, they're checking in on some stuff as we are watching this little battle back here. This is the battle to watch as we're going to go 3 wide. That is, the 2 of James Thurston going to go for a spin. And he saves it. And no caution will come out for that. I don't know if he had help. We didn't get a caution, so we're not going to go back and look at it. But he will go around there, or at least partially around. He saves it. Meanwhile, out front, they've really spread out. Here's Jeff Stabnow once again out front leading this race. We've seen this before. But again, we talked about early on in this race, in this program anyway. What is going to be the strategy here tonight? Is it going to be a fuel strategy on 1 stop or 2 stops? There are 2 very distinct possibilities. Somebody could try to stretch it to 37, 38-ish laps and make it on 1 stop. That being said, that is a big gamble to do. You're going to have to conserve fuel if you can make it. However, on the flip side of that, if you make 2 stops, less of a gamble, but will cautions play a factor into this as well? Right now, Jeff Stabnow out front, followed by Dan West Jr., Sean Brightsman, Seth Frazier, and Casey Tillman in your top 5. And everybody pretty spread out here at the moment, to be honest. There's not a whole lot going on the track battle-wise. We may need that caution to kind of bunch this field back up with only 12 drivers here tonight. And everyone is, of course, on a lead lap. Can Sean Brightson pick up 3 wins? Can Jeff Stabnow pick up his second win on in the playoffs? I don't know. Definitely going to find out here later on tonight. Again, awfully spread out here. Sean Brightson's actually making a move on Dan West Jr., or at least he was anyway. He's kind of settled back into the third position, but we'll look and see here. Let's go on board with Sean here for just a minute as we go to his helmet cam and see what it's like to be Sean here, as he is putting on a good run. Can he get by? We'll go one lap on board with him and see if he can get by Dan West Jr. while we're on board. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on lap 11 of 75 already, running some really fast times. Caution free here in tonight's race. Will we go caution free the rest of the race? That is the question. I imagine we probably will have a very low caution, if any at all, here tonight. Again, there's only 12 drivers here, plus the fact that they're all spread out. Well, again, watching a lot of stuff here in the scoring tower. We've already seen a drop-off as your front three have kind of pulled away from the rest of the field. But a 42.5 for your fast times, 43.7 is what we were on the last lap. So we're already seeing that fall off here on these tires. They are definitely going to the slower side. That obviously is factoring into the fuel mileage, but these guys, they run laps. They've ran fuel runs, and even on those slower laps, that is factored into that 40 or 31 to 37 laps. So we'll definitely keep an eye. I am not sure who's going to be able to make it to the 37 laps and maybe conserve one lap of fuel, make it to 38. It's going to be a close one. For people, we know James Vining has made it to 37 laps, but it's going to be a close one for everyone else. We don't have on that. We know Jeff Stabnow and Sean Brightsman closer to the 31, and this is why right here. They are way out here. I would imagine that Dan West Jr. probably one of them that's going to go the 31 lap distance, just because of the fact that he's right here. Up there with these guys. So if they're running fast enough to go on the 31 lap run, I would imagine then so is Dan West Jr. So we'll see. But obviously, if you're up there with them, you're going to be categorized in that pit stop window as well. Meanwhile, the guys behind them, it'll be interesting to see. These guys back here in the back, possibly having something for these guys in the long run if we stay green and it is a one-stop race. That being said, if we have a caution, that's going to shake things up just a little bit. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that and see how it goes. But there is a good little battle going on. Dan West Jr. trying to make a bid for the lead here, as couldn't quite do it, so he's going to regroup and try it again. And there you have it. We're letting these cars do the talking for you here tonight. As you see, the 55 of Dan West Jr. takes over the lead. Now, obviously, he's got a bad, fast machine in there. You got three Camaros out front where you have your actually fourth one. So you have four Camaros before you get to your first Ford, and then a Toyota. Then it's back to Chevys and Fords again. And what a great battle here. We may see second place come under fire as well for Sean Brightsman to Jeff Stabnow. Oh, Jeff Stabnow into the or outside wall there. He's going to hang on to second, but I don't know for how much longer, as that was a very, very close call to the outside wall for the 24. Jeff Stabnow, he does hang on to it. I think maybe Sean Brightsman had to check up a little bit as well. And we'll see. Oh, it's going to be a close one there. They are bumper to bumper right now. And we're watching these battles intensely. Not sure what's going to happen here, but we have been caution-free thus far tonight, with, of course, two different lead changes, as we've had Jeff Stabnow and Dan West Jr. Out front here tonight. No cautions, though, for you. Hand over record service tonight. Let's pull up your track information as well. 2 miles, 150 miles around this track is the distance tonight. 128 degree track, and we're on lap 19, and Jeff Stabnow already feeling the pains of these worn out tires here. And I still want to point out that Jeff Stabnow has a red car with a pink outline around his number from Cancer Awareness Month. As there you see Sean Brightsman will officially get by him to take second place. They're kind of spread out now. We're going to go back here a little ways and see what we can see. It looks like we got possibly James Vining, or sorry, yes, it is James Vining and Casey Tillman putting on a little battle here. Chris White a little ways behind them. He has fallen drastically here tonight. From a second to a seventh, so definitely not the direction he was planning on going. He's trying to run down James Vining and Casey Tillman and take that position away, or two positions away if he can. But right now, he hasn't been able to get up there and make it happen. Let's go. We're again watching this. We're also looking at some stuff here, as we do have the schedule pulled up for the series, as we are watching that very closely as well. Again, we mentioned earlier while we're watching this little battle here, we're keeping an eye on the front of the pack as well, but not too terribly much going on between these guys. Pit stops will be coming into play here shortly. As Casey Tillman has already come down, but a little bit early there on lap 22. I didn't expect, actually technically 21, I wouldn't expect anyone to come down just yet, but he has, and he will be the first car a lap down. everyone very spread out. So we're going to go back to the race lead here, but we were talking about that schedule a little bit. Obviously, we are here at Auto Club, and then on November 18th, we head to Phoenix or ISM Raceway, followed by Michigan, and then of course we are off December 2nd. We have Dover, Chicagoland off 2 weeks, and come back in January for Homestead, Miami for the season finale. So again, you do the math there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races, as we mentioned before, 6 including tonight. So 5 races is all that remains in the season. It has been a long season. 33 races this season, longer than any season they've done here in the past. So it'll be interesting to see. These two, I think, are going to have to come down here probably around lap 31 or so. But when will the rest of this field have to come down? And I say that we do have Brian Barnes coming down pit road for the first time here tonight. And we'll see, is it going to be 4 tires and fuel? I do believe it will be. And it is 4 tires and fuel for the 4. And Seth Frazier now going to come down pit road here on lap 25. So it looks like we are going to come down at lap 25 and then roughly lap 50. And we are going to make this a 2-stop race and just break it up that easy. They aren't even going to go to the fuel window here that we thought they might go to of 30-ish laps. They're going to cut it short 5 laps here for this one, and it looks like break it up in 25 increments. We'll see James Thurston going to take 2 tires on one side. We'll see if he takes 2 on the other. I imagine he would. 4 tires and fuel here for the 2 of James Thurston. He is. Jeff Stabnow bringing that number 24 machine down. And it looks like Chris White's going to come down with him. He is. So Chris White also coming down at pit road here to take his first of 2 pit stops for tonight's race. And Steven Paulson going to bring it down as well. Let's check in with Jeff Stabnow, who had to back up on pit road. That's going to cost him time. So we know he's going to take 4 tires and fuel for those Goodyear Eagle tires. A nice looking ride there. Again, the pink 24 on the side of that car. And with the VRN Logan Wicked Chassis logo on there as well. He's off and away as it looks like everyone else coming down. So is the 83 of Chris White. Dan West Jr. bringing that 55 machine down at pit road. James Viney coming down as well. So pit stops underway here. Nobody going to try to make it to the lap 37 or even 31 for that matter, as they are going to keep even pace here, 25 laps apiece. And that only leaves Sean Breisman and Ray Fournier that have not come down at pit road, and they continue to be out front. And just like that, we already see Sean Breisman has not come in, but look how fast Jeff Stabnow is catching him. As Jeff Stabnow not too far behind him. He is a lap down at the moment, but he won't be long for much longer. And just like that, that's what we were waiting for. He is right there, and he gets by him. He will get his slap back, but Sean Brightsman still your race leader. When will Sean Brightsman come down? All right, Sean Brightsman still not coming down pit road. Not sure, but we do want to point out Chris White is coming back down the pit road here for a second time. He does have damage to the car in the number 83 machine. Second pit stop here for Chris White, as he had already come down, I do believe, and he's going to be there for quite some time, 17, 18 seconds. Not using his fast repair, that may be a problem there. He may not have had it checked, as he's going to be there for 28 seconds so far. We go back to the leader, as this should be the limit that he can come down pit road. We should expect to see Sean Brightsman coming down here any minute. Chris White having troubles here tonight on pit road after having a fairly good car, good qualifying run, but not going to be his night here, as he is now a couple of laps down. Sean Brightsman still hanging out there, 32 laps on this stint. And Sean Brightsman still not showing any signs of coming down pit road. Dan West Jr. hanging in the second place. He did get his lap back, but he obviously would love to take the lead here, but he only can do that if Sean Brightsman comes down. And is Sean Brightsman going to try to make this on one stop here? He may be the lone driver that tries to do it. He's going to have to conserve quite a bit if he wants to, and he's going to have to conserve a lot, or quite a bit there on the final run as well. That may make him a little bit slower, but we'll definitely be waiting to see on that. As we have Jeff Stab now sitting in the third position. He obviously would like another win here. Dan West Jr., let's check the point standings on our end here. Dan West Jr. is in the point standings here. He's not in the trucks, but he is here. Obviously looking to get a win. He's sitting 2 points to the good. So obviously with Chris White having a bad night, Seth Frazier not having as well. He's having a decent night now, sitting in 5th place, but he is ahead of him, so he'd be good there. But I think it would be hard-pressed to get by him. But a win would be terrific for the 55 of Dan West Jr., as he would secure himself into that third position with the win. Well, again, we were talking here. We are at Auto Club. This is the final round. So a win is crucial for some of these guys that want to get in. If you talk about those point standings here for a little bit, as we'll go to our leader so we don't miss a pit stop. If you're Steven Paulson right now, you really could use a win. But good news for Steven Paulson is John Ottenbacher is not here tonight. So Steven Paulson should get himself into the 8th position. Casey Tillman, though, is right there as well. But Casey Tillman sitting in 5th position, where Steven Paulson is in 9th. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough of a gap for Casey Tillman to pass Steven Paulson. I don't think it's going to be. Oh, this is a really rough guess as to how the points are going to go. Leaving tonight, unofficially, we think it'll probably be Sean Brightsman, Jeff Stabenow. We know they're in. Followed by Seth Frazier, Chris White, James Thurston, Dan West Jr., Brian Barnes, and Steven Paulson. That is a very rough estimate of what we think the point standings will look like after everything is done here tonight, before any anything happens as far as that goes. As there it is right there, Sean Brightsman coming down pit road. As I expected him to come down at some point. He's going to come down here on lap 36, so he didn't quite make it to the end where he needed to go. it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to try to conserve here in the second one. He's obviously on the one-stop path here. So he's going to bring it in. He'll lock it up there just a little bit. Almost slid it. But he'll take 4 tires and fuel here for that number 46 machine. We'll make sure it's a good stop for him. And so far, so it looks good. As he's going to pull off, stalls it, trying to get off pit road. That is going to cost him just a teeny bit of time, not too terribly much, as we keep moving forward. So can he recover from that little bit of boo-boo there? And I don't, only 36 laps, not quite enough. I think he needed to go to at least 38. Oh, can he make it? We'll see. He's the only one that pulled it out there. Dane West Jr., your race leader here at the moment on lap 38 of 75. Again, we're keeping track of this. Jeff Stabnow is it the good spot to get the win here? I don't know. I think Dan West Jr. probably is the car to beat here tonight. Maybe not the fastest, but I think he's set himself up strategy-wise here to get the win. So we'll see if that is the case. Tonight, we'll see. We are going to step away here for just a minute, get a hydration break real fast here on lap 39, and we'll watch your leader here and see what happens, but we'll be right back in just 1 minute as we step away for a quick hydration break. Alright, we are back here. I got the voice all hydrated as we are set to go. As you see, Dan West Jr. completing lap number 41, and we are on lap 42. As we just get back, why not go ahead and step aside here for a second. Let's go on board with Just Right just to see how this car's handling. So we'll go let's go to his roll bar camera if we can find where it is. Anyway, it's buried in here in our camera somewhere. There it is. Let's go to the roll bar camera as we go on board with him just to see how this car is handling here tonight. Let's see. Not bad handling. I think it's going to handle pretty good. You don't see him fighting this car too much. He looks like he's just out there kind of cruising around. Again, a very, very good run here for him. As he is out there just literally just barely turning this wheel. No, he is not putting a whole lot of input into it, and that is good. You do not want to be putting a whole lot of input into these wheels. The more you have to put into them, the more it's going to get slippery. The more you're going to slide around out there, and that's the last thing you want to do. And we haven't checked in with chat out there too much, as we got Triple G Motorsports out there. Welcome to chat. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that thumbs up. And of course, hit the bell to be notified of all upcoming events here on the channel. Make sure you check out our partner channel over at raceontexas.com. And of course, raceontexas.com YouTube channel. Definitely a great thing to check out as we're going to go off board here with your race leader and go back to our main camera. As Dan West Jr., your leader, followed by Jeff Stabnow, James Thurston, Sean Brightman, and Casey Tillman are your top five. We're going to go back here just a little bit as Jeff Stabnow going to slide up in front. The 58 of Stephen Paulson. That's not for position, just for real estate on the track. Well, Sean Brightsman coming back. He's in third, so even through all of that, he did manage to hang on to third place, even though he stayed out a little bit longer. So this will be iffy. We'll see if he's going to have enough to make it, and if he doesn't, if he comes down, is he going to have enough laps to make it back to the front and get the lead back? He's got a lot fresher tires, basically half of what the other guys have. And we're checking in with stuff here. When it goes silent, we're always here checking and stuff. We're looking at those lap times here. 19 laps in, 20 laps in. 42.6s is the fast lap around this track. 42.5s for some people. Meanwhile, 44.5s to 44.8s for the last laps for these guys. For Dan West Jr., Jeff Stabnow, 44.3 for Sean Brightsman. So Sean Brightsman is technically faster, even on older tires than these guys. But it makes you wonder how the wear-off is here. We're talking 20 laps, and they're running 44.8s, 44.5s, and 9 laps, he's running 44.3s. So the fall-off seems to be huge here tonight. And that is the last thing you want to know. That may play a pretty sizable factor into the fact that I don't know if Sean Brightsman's going to be able to catch Dan West Jr., even if he has fresher tires, because they have half the tires, but still pretty much all that tire wear. He is a little bit faster, 44.2s to 44.6s. So 4/10 is what he has on him. Is that enough to move to the front and get the lead back? We'll find out here in a little bit. Meanwhile, Dan West Jr. coming back down pit road here, a little bit short on this one as he's coming down on lap 48. We know they can make it, so it looks like he knows what's happening there with Sean Brightsman. Possibly he's going to short pit here just a tiny bit. James Thurston going to come down as well, and that's going to be Frank Harris coming down pit road as well, giving up 11th place. He's already a lap down, but this will be interesting. Brian Barnes, there's Dan West Jr. Looks like he's going to have his car serviced and be leaving here momentarily. And he's been there quite a bit. 29 seconds. Did he get caught speeding on pit road? 30 seconds is going to definitely hurt him. I'm not sure what happened there. Looks like possibly a speeding penalty on pit road where he got held for 15 seconds. Not what he wanted to see here for Dan West Jr. 30.3 second stop here. As that is not what you want to see when you're going down there. You see right there, 30.3 seconds for the 55 machine. The average stop down here, we'll go over to Jeff Stabnow on his last stop, 13.9 seconds. So roughly a 15-second stop and a 15-second penalty on there as well. So We'll take a look at those pit stops here so far, but only a handful of people have come down for their second time thus far in the race. Definitely a different strategy. These guys are coming down a few laps earlier than we thought, but they can do it. We know they can make it about 33 or so laps here, is what we've seen Sean Brightson make. So I'm sure these guys can make that as well. So they're going to just do their best to make it to that. 25 laps is what they came in last time. We got somebody slowing down on track. That is going to be the 58 of Stephen Paulson. He's going to come down pit road for 4 tires and fuel here for that 58 machine. Jeff Stabnow, your race leader at the moment. Well, Jeff Stabnow, Sean Brightsman, 1-2. Your guys that already have wins on the season is Jeff Stabnow is going to give up the lead. He's going to come down pit road. Will his teammate follow him down? Well, we'll find out here momentarily. And he's not. Sean Brightsman going to take the lead from him as Jeff Stabnow will follow him on pit road and see how this one goes for him. Will he have a good stop coming down pit road? And good stop. Last time he came down, he had to back up just a little bit. Not going to happen this time. As he will take 4 tires and fuel here, no doubt. There it is, the left side going up. So 4 tires and fuel for the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Sean Brightsman still out. So Sean Brightsman, James Vining have not come down for their second stop yet. Ray Fournier has not come down, and obviously Chris White came down after getting into the wall. Unfortunately, his night coming to an end a little bit earlier. We didn't get to talk to him. Didn't realize he was actually out of the race until, they're a minute or two into pit road, and by that point they usually have left TeamSpeak, and we don't have a way to talk to him. Definitely not the way he wanted his race to go by any means, but unfortunately sometimes it does happen. And I thought there was clouds back there. That is the mountains in the background. It's like, them are some funky looking clouds, but that is the mountains back behind there. Jimmy has got the hiccups going on here. I apologize for that. Sean Brightsman, your leader here, as we got more coming down. Jeff Stabnow coming back down pit road again. I'm not sure what this is for. It looks like we got a penalty on the 24 machine. Is it a stop and go, or did something happen? Did he miss something? He's going to pull it into a stop. Rev the engine there. He's revving it, and it is going to be looks like a stop and go penalty for the 24 Jeff Stabnow. 4.7 seconds. So not what he wanted to see at all. That is going to cost him a lap. With Jeff Stabnow, looks like his hopes just went up in flames that he usually has on that car. Looks like a stop and go penalty, probably speeding on pit road. As he will serve a stop and go penalty there, 4.7 seconds. Sean Brightsman still out front leading this race. He has just become a little bit more of a contender here in this race. I always thought he had a good shot. I really thought Dan West Jr. had a good shot as well. And we never know. Seth Frazier may have a shot in this as well, as he's sitting currently with lap 55 of 75. So do the math there. 50, 60, 70, 20 laps to go this time by. Seth Frazier right now in a second spot. He is in the chase. He's third in the chase already. He is 50 points to the good. There is no possible way he could get knocked out of the chase anyway at this point here going into next week. However, a win, well, it wouldn't change a whole lot. He'd still be in third anyway. So if he wins, not a whole lot changes on. It would still be, as we thought earlier, really the only thing we're predicting is going to change, other than some ordering possibly. We may see Dan West, or sorry, no, I don't think the ordering will change, except for 8th and 9th. I think John Ottenbacher and Stephen Paulson will flip for our 8th place position there. But other than that, I don't see a whole lot changing. So we'll definitely let you know if we get those points in before we go off the air. Usually we do, as we have great people in Northwest that get us those point standings right away when the race is over. So when will Sean Brightsman come down pit road? 20 laps on this stint. He's got 20 to go. He could come down now and have really fresh tires. We'll find out here as let's go on board with him here just to see how his car is handling as well as we go to his helmet cam. Alright, sorry about that. Not sure what popped up in the middle of the screen there. We do apologize for that. Again, not sure what that was. We got rid of it as quickly as we could. We're running on board here, though, with Sean Brightsman. And again, on this helmet cam, he's not having to fight this car too much either, but he still has to come down and make a pit stop here with less than 20 to go. He's got 22 laps on this stint, and somebody's coming down pit road as well. Let's jump off on board with him and go to our main camera here. And that is going to be Casey Tillman in the 92, bringing it now for a third pit stop here tonight. So, not sure what's prompting him to come back down pit road, but he is indeed coming down for a third stop here tonight. We'll see. Sean Brightsman still out front as he's got a lap car in front of him. That is the 12 of Frank Harris in 10th place. Currently one lap down. We only have currently 4 cars on the lead lap with James Thurston. So we would have had 5, but Jeff Stabnow going a lap down as well. Ooh, can he do it is the question. Sean Brightsman hanging on to the lead right now. Can he hold on for the next well, exactly 15 laps is what he needs to hang on. Let's do the math. 15 plus 25. That's going to be more than he can do. So more than Sean Brightsman can push this car. Even on the longest run, he is not going to be able to make it. So he will have to come down. The question is, when will he? He's got a 25-second lead over Dan West Jr. So if he gets in and makes a flawless stop, he could come out right behind Dan West Jr. All right, again, let us know in chat who your pick is. We got several people out there watching. Let us know who your pick for tonight's race win is. You have roughly about 12 laps to get them in. And Sean Brightsman, that's the topic at hand here in this race. Sean Brightsman, 26 laps on his stint. He will have to pit again. Right behind him, Dan West Jr., who did get by Seth Frazier. Can he get up there? So that 30-second stop for Dan West Jr. didn't hurt him. He's still in second place. We are coming up on 10 laps to go. Sean Brightsman will have to pit. The question is, well, I don't know. This could get close, folks. Now that we're getting here, this is going to be just about a 38-lap run for Sean Brightsman. Is he going to try to conserve and push it all the way to the end? The closer we get, I thought it would be a little more than that. He actually might be able to push this to the end of the race. We'll see. Sean Brightsman, can he do it? Can he pull off the third win here in the playoffs tonight? That's going to be a tough one, ladies and gentlemen. It's tough enough to get a win anyway, much less when you have somebody like Dan West Jr. in that 55 machine right there on your screen that is barreling down. He does have a 23-second gap. It was 22. So that 25-second gap has dropped to 22 a second gap. So obviously, he is he's definitely conserving a lot of fuel. And to answer the question, what is rendering this? Referring to what iRacing uses, they use DirectX 12, I believe. As far as on our end here in the streaming studio, we have a 2802, two 2080 Ti's. We only use one of them for iRacing, but we use a 2080 Ti with a i9-7940X processor to render this all out. But Seth Frazier, I thought, had a shot to get the win here tonight. But I think that's come up a little bit short here. 22.4 seconds is the gap between first and second right now. And Seth Frazier taking it low on the track, as looks like he's just trying to cut some of that draft off from the two there of James Thurston right behind him. Followed by Brian Barnes, who isn't right there in that group. And you'll see, Sean Brightsman getting real loose there. That is not what he wants to see. Those tires are old, 30 laps on them. He has, it's going to be really close. That's more what I thought it was going to be. 30 laps on his stint, and he has 9 laps to go. That's going to be a 39-lap run. That is going to be very, very difficult for him to do. I think he may come up a lap or so short on fuel, maybe even 2 laps short on it, but what the heck, he's already got 2 wins here in the playoffs. He has nothing to lose. Dan West Jr., however, could lock himself into the next round. Yes, Elizabeth over there supporting us. A big shout out to Liz over there putting us on her channel. Is a big shout out to her. We love working with her, doing some graphic work for her, and obviously getting the shout outs over on the channel as well. So big shout out to her for that. Definitely one of our favorite people to work with anytime. She's also just a fun person to hang out with and chat with as well. Right now, Sean Brightsman, 7 laps to go here in this race. It was, again, 75 laps. We're in the last 7 laps for tonight's race here at Auto Club Speedway here in California. And it's going to be a close one, folks. Can Sean Brightsman hang on? The gap between Sean Brightsman and Dan West Jr. has been cut to 19.5 seconds. Yeah, unfortunately, since it is a sim, they do have a little bit of a connection issue sometimes. Usually it doesn't affect the actual outcome. We have it a little bit, but it should be good. Usually it's just they're disconnecting from the server. but they usually stay in the position they're in. Doesn't affect it too much. But we'll see. And there he is coming to the line. There, right there. Let's check in. So about a half a track separating these two right now. 18.3 seconds behind. That'll be interesting. Again, we have 6 laps to go. That's going to put him at, again, 39 laps on this fuel run. We heard the max was about 37, maybe 38 of fuel. Oh, he has got his work cut out for him here tonight. Can he conserve enough fuel to keep this car in the lead for the remainder of this race? We have 5 laps to go. Can he do it? Sean Brightsman hanging on for dear life right now. As we'll see 16.5 seconds separating first and second. That gap is getting smaller and smaller. But time's still the same. They're both running 44. Actually, Sean Brightsman that time ran a 46-second lap compared to a 44-second lap. So he is actually 2 seconds slower right now trying to conserve fuel, and he may just do it, folks. Again, it's going to be close if he can. I don't think we'll see much of a celebration as far as donuts or a burnout. Yes, we actually do occasionally have stuff. We've been known to do figure 8 races where people just run into each other and crash each other. We also do some dirt style racing on here where it's not intentional, but they end up wrecking a lot anyway. Just last night we had a race that had a pretty big pileup. Anytime we go to Daytona, Talladega, stuff like that, we'll usually have 20, 30 big car pileup races. So yeah, occasionally we do these off-season fun races as well during the winter, and all kinds of chaos ensues in there. You'll probably see at the end of this race, they'll go and have a time crashing into each other after the race is over, as obviously they're running for championship right now. But after the race, you'll see it with 3 laps to go, though. Dan West Jr. has cut that gap to 12.7 seconds. 2 laps to go. And 2 laps is all that remains here in tonight's race for Sean Brightsman. It has been a heck of a race for everybody involved. It's just, again, it's going to be a battle here. Can he hang on? I think at this point he might be able to make it, as he has pretty much held on this long. Yes, there are actual people behind steering wheels and pedals. And a lot of these guys actually have VR headsets and sim rigs that they're hooked into. So, yeah, there's actually real people behind the wheel of these cars out here racing. Dan West Jr., I don't think he's, once again, two Xfinity races in a row. I think he may come up short. Sean Brightsman, though, is he running out of fuel? He's awfully slow on the track. Nope, just coming through the corner. He is going to have enough. I do believe he's gaining speed, so he does have enough fuel at least to get this far in the race. And he is dropping speed pretty fast here, folks. He may be out of fuel. No, he's not. He picks it back up. He is conserving with everything he has. Sean Brightsman gonna try to pick it up, and he does. His 3rd win on the season, that 3rd win in the playoffs here tonight. What a battle. I would be willing to bet he is out of fuel here, as Dan West Jr. was closing the gap as quickly as he could, but in the end it just wouldn't happen, as Sean Brightsman will be your race leader. Yeah, they are working on an artificial intelligence here that could go into the races as well. But yeah, these one here, these are actual real people driving them tonight. As again, Sean Brightsman gonna get the win here tonight, and followed by Dan West Jr. and Seth Frazier. We'll be talking to those top three drivers here in just a few moments. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We got your top three drivers here in the booth with us, and as always, starting with third place here tonight, that's going to be the 32 of Seth Frazier. Again, always good to have Seth in the booth, one of the Northwest drivers, and a very, very fast driver at that. He comes in a third here tonight. There for a while, I thought you had a shot to get the win here as you were up there in contention. Obviously, if we'd have had a caution or something, you'd have been right back in the mix. But got spread out here, got a little bit of a gap, and in the end, you had to settle for third place. But I believe you're still 50 points to the good, so you're moving on to the not say the final, but the next round of 8, regardless of where you finished here tonight. You kind of reset again, moving into the final round of 8 here. Keep on saying final, but the round of 8. So now that's resetting, does it, make it more pressure, or is it still just the same old, you just got to get the win, get good finishes?
Well, I think if you have good points, there's a good chance you might make it through. Especially with how fast Brightsman's being, there's a good chance I think he might win at least 2 or 3 of the next round. The next race is Phoenix. I think I've actually won the last 2 races at Phoenix, so I'm trying to lock in at Phoenix and start practicing for Miami. This new tire model is kind of giving me fits, so I gotta get some practice in, figure out what's going on here.
Oh, definitely, ISM is a different beast on its own. Here tonight, obviously, caution free. We did not have a single caution. We talk about cautions all the time. You don't want a caution fest, but do you really want to go complete caution free? Or, like you said, would you have liked to see, at least that one caution there, kind of regroup the field and go at it? Or, are you happy with not seeing any cautions here tonight?
Well, when you're not leading, it's nice to have a caution, bunch everybody back up. But if you have a big lead, then you're all for not going to have any caution. So I guess it just depends.
Definitely, probably the best answer you can come up with. It just depends on where you're at on the track and what you got going on for you or against you, whether you want that caution or not. That being said, though, we know you got some shout outs and some sponsors on that car for that third place finish, so who would those be?
Just my buddy Mike Wood back in Middlesex, North Carolina. He does all our paint schemes for us, helps a bunch of us out. So a big shout out to him.
All right. Well, again, congrats on the third place finish here tonight. And of course, that will take us to our second place driver. And it seems like the second race in a row, the bridesmaid and not the bride. Although I guess it'd be the groom and the best man. I don't know. Either way, he pulls out a second place here tonight and should be safe into the round of 8 either way. But, again, I really, really thought you had a good shot at getting the win here, Dan. But Sean Brightsman just somehow had some extra fuel in that tank tonight.
Yeah, well, Iceman, he has a way of pulling those off. Yeah, I felt actually pretty good, too. I felt like I had a short run car and a long run car. Love this type of track, and I'm sure Sean, Jeff, Seth, all these guys do. I mean, this is these types of tracks are drivers' tracks. I mean, it's just fun. But no, I had my wife and son in the other room screaming and hollering for the Monday Night Football game with the Seahawks, and didn't quite judge the next corner very well, I guess, and got sideways. And I thought, well, heck, I got it sideways. I'm just going to go ahead and pit. Well, I thought I had it slowed down enough, and then they gave me a pit penalty.
That would explain the 30 seconds there. We figured it was a speeding on pit road. However, didn't know you got it sideways. We missed that. That would explain coming in a little bit earlier than we had thought you would. We thought you'd come in maybe a lap or two, maybe 3 later. But overall, again, coming out of the night, you are going to be sitting in about 6th place, maybe 5th. Well, based on you should stay somewhere right about 6, so you will make it into the round of 8. So congrats on that. And any mindset change there, you have to know, okay, now there's only 8 people I really need to compete with, and make sure you finish better than them each week.
No, like what we've talked before, Charles. It's just every race is the same. You just go out and have fun and do your best, and whatever it is, it is.
Well, there you go. Again, you just have to go out there and do your thing, and it'll either be there for you or won't. Sometimes, again, 2 second places in a row here. Obviously, doing a fantastic job, as we refer to him, Rocket Man Dan in qualifying. He's always up towards the front. And we expect to see him there going into the next 5 final races. But we know you got some shout-outs there and sponsors. Who would those be for that second place finish?
Charles, thank you with Virtual Racing Network and everybody at Northwest Racing. Again, thanks, guys, for coming out, making this fun. And all the guys involved, all the admins. You guys are behind the scenes doing a lot of work, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, again, congrats on second place, and of course that's going to bring us to our race winner here tonight. He's won 3 out of the 4 races here in the round of 12. Obviously, Jeff Stabenow, his teammate, picking up the other one, but you get the 3 wins here, and I believe 3 back-to-back on top of that. I believe Jeff got the first one, and maybe the first and the last 2, I'm not sure on the exact positioning of them, but regardless of that, you get the win going into the round of 8. Does it give you that momentum boost and a little bit of confidence knowing, hey, I got this championship maybe?
It definitely gives a confident boost. I mean, going into Phoenix ISM, being that we're running the old version, still not the newly reconfigured version, Seth has been really fast there as of late, so it's definitely going to be a battle there. I think you're going to see Seth put up his dukes and probably go out and win that race.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Obviously, 3 wins out of the 4 races. Obviously, that's a momentum in itself. I don't know, carrying that over to the wreck. If you had to pick here, a track that maybe is one of your, per se, best chances of getting the win. Obviously, going into it, we have ISM, Michigan, Dover, and Chicagoland. Which one do you think's your track that you're gonna really, not really have the, well, yeah, the best shot you think at getting the win?
I feel like Dover. I usually run there pretty well. I really like that track. It just kind of suits my driving style. So I'm really looking forward to Dover and running there.
Oh, we'll definitely be watching for you at Dover. Obviously, a smaller track, the kind of track we like here ourselves. We'll be watching to see how you do there. And of course, last but not least, we know you got sponsors on the card. Shout out to those of you for the win here tonight.
Absolutely. I got to thank everybody at Wicked Chassis Racing, Walls Beard Co., Virtual Racing Network, Central Welding Supply, and then, of course, got to give it out to all the military members and veterans and everybody. Thanks for everything you've done for our country and giving us a chance to do this in our free time. So appreciate it and wish you guys the best.
All right, there you have it. And of course, of racing on Veterans Day here. We thank everybody for tuning in here tonight, and of course, also to the veterans that, like he said, give us the opportunity to do what we do here. That being said, we hope everyone has a great rest of your night and a great tomorrow as a lot of you head back to work. We'll see you there at Wednesday night as we're off tomorrow, so we'll see you for the World of Thunder on Wednesday night.